What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So, today we're going over Gloom Nezha, which I think is a pretty good setup for people trying to get into the Steel Path, trying to get into the meta of the game of just like AoE spamming everywhere. Nezha Prime is a really good option for AoE spamming. We're going to go over a build I'm going to be using a lot going forward with Gloom Nezha. Before we get into it, make sure you are following the live stream channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to see when all these videos go up. We just got off a 12-hour stream, so I'm a little bit out of it. If I say something goofy, it's probably because I'm a little bit tired. Alright, so Gloom Nezha. What is the situation? Why is this somewhat meta? Well, we've taken the ability off of Sevagoth Gloom and put it on Nezha's 4th ability, which will give us a 85% slowing aura with giving us lifesteal for all damage as well. So that's really good. Nezha's also got the Warding Halo ability. This is what is pretty meta for what we're trying to do. You use Nezha's 3rd ability, you cannot get knocked over, including your Kuva Bramma, your Kuva Ogress, your Kuva Tsar, whatever explosive weapon you're carrying around. Additionally, this gives you damage reduction and like a little mini health bar on top. So between the lifesteal, the big damage reduction, and the enemies being slowed, and status immunity, we are very, very tanky. Not to mention, we also have Blazing Chakram, which can debuff Acolytes, making them basically just get one shot by our Kuva Bramma, with a build not even meant for the Acolyte. And Firewalker will let us run around a little bit faster, although we don't really use this ability much on this build. Alright, so let's just show what build I'm going to recommend to you. Now remember, this is like basically, this is simulated Prime Sure-Footed with no actual Prime Sure-Footed. Amar's Hatred is definitely a flex slot. You can put something else there if you want to. But the general gist of this is, if we take damage, we will regenerate energy back, which does work while we're in Gloom. Our big damage reduction from our 3 also gets stacked up with Adaptation, giving us a bunch of extra damage reduction. And the rest is just pretty much some power strength to give us more Gloom slow percentage. The more power strength you have, the more it will slow. The Arcanes are honestly up to personal preference. You don't even need Arcane Energize in this loadout because you regen energy from Rage. But just to be topped off, I like to have Arcane Energize. You could definitely go for more DPS here. Maybe run Arcane Acceleration if you're going Bramma, or Strike if you're going melee. We got Avenger because you will sometimes get shot, even though you're taking like 1 damage per bullet. So we've gone with Avenger here just to give you over 100% crit chance on your Kuva Bramma. And speaking of which, we've got a Toxin Kuva Bramma, 59.2% Toxin, and it's a no Riven setup with Bane of the Grenier. If you don't have Bane of the Grenier, just running Amalgam Serration there will be great, or Normal Serration is also pretty good. But yeah, if you have the Bane mod, you should run it. Hammer Shot to give us more viral procs and bigger crit damage, especially with Avenger on there. We're going to be getting lots and lots of crits. So let's get some Steel Path gameplay. Now, if you're trying to get into the Steel Path, this is a loadout I'd recommend to you. You don't need Prime Sure-Footed. You don't even need Arcane Energize. You just need a Kuva Bramma and an Ogress. Or not Ogress, a Bramma. So, you know, you could go with the Tsar as well. And Gloom is not necessary. Gloom is just very nice to make it so you're not having any problems ever. Because enemies around you are massively slowed. Look at our health bar. I mean, if the enemies even shoot at us, it's like, what, like 5 damage from a Steel Path Grenier shooting at us. And once they break through our shield, we get invincibility period once our Warding Halo breaks. So we can just jump back into it and be basically near immortal. So the only time you're ever going to like actually die with this loadout is if maybe the entire room of enemies is focusing on you and a Limbo Acolyte spawns, disabling your abilities. Yeah, this is pretty good against Acolytes because you have all this power strength. So with this build, our 2nd ability debuffs the enemies with I think it's a 200 and something % debuff. They're going to be taking a 243% damage vulnerability when we hit them with our 2nd ability, which is the Blazing Chakram. So that's going to make massive damage increases from your weapons. So if you bring something like the one-shot the Acolyte, like the Stropha, we can show a Stropha build as well. Even though you could probably just do this whole thing with just a primary, to be honest. Yeah, you're good to go, honestly. Let's just quickly show the Stropha build. Now, I have a Riven. If you don't have a Riven, don't worry. The build might even be better without a Riven. So we're going to do crit damage and replace Stropha crit Riven with Stropha crit mod. And there you go. That's your Stropha build for one shot in the Acolyte. Now, of course, you could take off this Smite mod for like an upfront damage mod just because the Acolyte's technically not a Grenier. But that's me up to you. As far as a secondary, I didn't really go for a secondary here, but you could run the Kuva Nucor. since you're running Arcane Avenger, that should get you to that big Kuva Nucor crit multiplier quite often. But I'm going to leave that one up to you guys, whatever you want to run, really. The Tomos from the other day is pretty good. And as far as like other frames you can just, you know, like get easily into the meta stuff with, there's frames like Atlas, frames like Revenant, frames like Rhino. I just find Nezha very easy, just because even if your Warding Halo breaks, like I said, you have that brief period of invincibility to just get back in there. The debuff is nice. I don't think I even debuffed this Acolyte, to be honest. But if I did, it's going to be about a one-shot. It's going to be a one-shot, the viral HM build, which is not meant to kill them. So very, very nice. Now, if you are running the Bramma, make sure that you have Vigilante supplies. That is the most important mod you can run on the Bramma, besides like, you know, like crit mods and all that, because that will let you have infinite ammo. As you can see right here, whenever I pick up ammo, it just becomes Bramma ammo, and it lets me just, you know, effortlessly blast through the mission. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now, if you don't have an extra Sevagoth, or just a Sevagoth period, it's not too hard to farm him. You might just want to farm the Plat too, if you're like, if you know nothing about Railjack and you don't want to get into it. You know, maybe potentially buy Sevagoth. But the thing is, to get this Kuva Bramma, you need to have some knowledge about Railjack, because now Kuva Liches require Railjack. So sure, I'm happy about that change, because if you didn't know this, they used to not require Railjack, but now you're forced to do Railjack for it. So, yeah. Other weapons-wise, you can use the Tsar. You can use the just any AOE like meta weapon, pretty much. I'd say the big three are Ogress, Bramma, and Tsar, and that's pretty much it. Like you could do other stuff too. Someone just randomly joined me this in Arkham. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful. Like I said, I've just got off a 12-hour stream, so make sure you check the live stream channel whenever we go live. And as far as, is this useful? Well, yeah, I'd say this is useful. You could use this on nearly every Steel Path mission in the game. You could technically do a spy mission with this. Nezha's not really the best spy frame, but yeah, you know, like just run through, because your stats, I mean, like you can't take magnetic procs, you can't take viral procs, you can't take radiation procs. This can be a nice like go-to loadout for you if you're trying to like get into stuff. And Nezha Prime is currently not vaulted, so it's very easy to farm Nezha Prime. And like I said, you can just not even do the Helminth. Like maybe a different Helminth would be better for you as well. Like maybe you prefer Breach Surge, or you prefer Ensnare. I don't know why I'd really prefer Ensnare over this, but yeah, it's just effortless Nezha tanking, because you're not really, it's not real Iron Skin, because they are still dealing damage to you, but with adaptation and Warding Halo, it's like basically no damage at all. Like I just said, 5 damage on the Steel Path against some chunky Grenadier. Yeah, pretty nice. Okay guys, I'll see you next time. Take it easy and peace.